Welcome to the best 5-minute wine podcast with Forrest Kelly.
Lindsay Gabbard, co-founder and sommelier of Rimessa Riscioli in Rome, Italy, continues as our guest. In our last episode, we kind of closed out with, we were talking about QR codes on your wine bottles. Tell me more about that.
The best 5-minute wine podcast.
So that people could, while they're drinking the bottle, just scan the QR code and have direct access to see where the wine was made, see the winemaker who made it, learn a little bit about wine. They also can know which grape it is, how to pair it, when to drink it by, the whole story of how the wine was made. Try to make that as easy as possible for someone to access when they're drinking the wine instead of going to a website or getting out a brochure that we put in the box.
So you've got a production crew that's going with you when you film these.
Oh yeah, we usually travel in about 5 people. So it's, I think we spend more money on videos than we do on food in the restaurants. But nonetheless, we are definitely, Alessandro came from documentary and film and videos. So that's always been a passion of his, is more on the creative side. He's also a writer. So also in the box for the wine club, we put our little Roscioli Wine Club Times, which is where we write a collection of our stories from traveling and the things that we quote unquote talk about when we talk about wine, which is often not even wine, which sounds silly, but we like to not get too caught up in the idea that everything needs to be about the wine. We think that there's just a lot more going on around that should be spoken about than just the what's in the bottle.
Right, and wine is kind of a social lubricant and lets you expand your normal how's the weather conversations.
Exactly.
Okay, whet my appetite. Tell me what, like a typical night or a typical day, what are we looking at on the menu?
If you're eating in the a la carte menu, it's mainly Roman, but with a little bit of experimentation because we don't want to be an exact replica of Salume di Roscioli, which is our main restaurant. We wanted to, offer, of course, the traditional plates because in Italy, tradition is kind of first and foremost. But at the same time, we had to put little spins on things. So on the a la carte menu, you can also find, various fish plates and different pastas from various regions that aren't necessarily just the Roman pastas like amatriciana, carbonara, and cacio e pepe. They'll do, we'll sometimes have even chefs come in from other restaurants that we enjoy from our visits in different regions, and we'll invite them to do a collaboration with us. So we do a lot of that. If you're doing the wine tasting dinner, which is kind of, like I said, what we were born from, it's going to be 6 different wines paired with 6 different plates of food. So you start with the different fresh cheeses, buffalo ricotta, buffalo mozzarella, buffalo and then burrata, and then some other different gastronomy for the next, and salumi for the next 2 wines, a plate of cacio e pepe, a meatball, tiramisu, and that's it. But then, like I said, we also do a variety of different tastings for the Italians, which will also be having different chefs come in from other places as well. But we do a lot of different things. We'll have a lot of times a winemaker who just walks from table to table and brings his wines or her wines, and will just speak very generally about them and pour them as people are dining. We keep busy.
Is there a dress code?
No, not at all. We are super casual. We want people to relax. Wine for us is like water on a table, so it's not anything that people need to think about in a fancy level. We're very casual and social and convivial. We have all mainly social tables in the a la carte part of the restaurant as well, so it's meant to be relaxed.
So after the restaurant, is there something else besides I see you have a Roscioli Food Tour. Explain that a little bit.
Yeah, that's a tour that happens during the day, which is a way, because a lot of people don't understand. They hear the name Roscioli, but they don't understand that we're technically 4 different restaurants. So it's a way to introduce them to kind of the world of Roscioli. It's kind of turning into a universe of Roscioli these days. And so we do a stop at Roscioli Cafe to start with, to do an espresso and a maritozzo. Then we walk over to the Forno and grab the pizza al taglio, and they can kind of see where we were born as the bakery. And we take that into one of the Roscioli cellars and have some pizza and usually a prosecco or something to start off with. Then we move over to Rimessa Riscioli. We'll do a kind of like a cooking demonstration on the different various pastas like the amatriciana, cacio e pepe, and carbonara, and they'll eat those with us for lunch as well. Have a full wine tasting paired alongside that, and finish with some tiramisu. But yeah, then they get a nice introduction to the 4 different spaces that we have, and we're also opening up a 5th one just behind Rimessa Riscioli, probably around September, which is where mainly the experiences that we offer, like the wine tasting dinner, cooking class, and olive oil tastings will happen. And then downstairs, shortly after that, we'll be opening up, I can't really call it a jazz club because it won't be licensed, I don't think, as a full full jazz club, but at the same time, we'll have a lot of performances and music and different kind of happenings that happen down there.
Well, we know you guys are rebels, so you're going to be pushing the envelope.
Yeah, we're in Italy. That's, rules are mainly suggestions.
The best 5-minute one podcast.
Don't forget my favorite part.
Please like and follow. Oh.